YouTube live stream. I hope everybody's having a great night. As always, hanging out to chat about Freemasonry. My audience seems to love both, or my audience seems to be like me and enjoys staying up late. So I like to do these live streams at 1 a.m., where, as 1 p.m., we're talking about Freemasonry. Anything you want to talk about when it comes to Freemasonry. Any thoughts you have, positive, negative, or neutral, I would love to hear them. Take a moment. In the meantime, though, hit the like button, please. Hit the subscribe button, and let me know, what do you want to talk about? Let's give it a few minutes. Let's see, like I was saying, if there are some people out there that are as night owl-ish as I am. And if you are and you want to hang out with me, jump in the chat, say hello, let me know how it's going and what you want to talk about. And we'll give it maybe an hour or so, maybe less than that. We'll just see. I mean, it all really depends on who's showing up in the chat and if they have any questions about Freemasonry. Tomorrow's, or I guess today's 1 p.m. stream, which will be 12 hours from now, is going to be the Ask Me Anything, Ask Us Anything stream, of which I do every Friday. So maybe organize your questions now. And I am looking at organizing a stream next week, or even the week after, potentially, which will be a 24-hour stream. So that should be a lot of fun. But I do want to give it a bit of time to see who joins, see if we get some people joining. Like I was saying, this 1 a.m. stream, part of it is I'm looking for more people to give me the word they would use to describe Freemasonry. That is something I'm trying to collect, as many words as I can, or as many answers as I can from people, one person per word, to see what the thoughts are. Earlier yesterday, I guess 1 p.m. yesterday, I talked about the play Angry Allen, why I think there are some overlaps with Freemasonry that could benefit it. I can talk about that again, or really this is the chance to see who's awake and who wants to chat about Freemasonry. Earlier date, August 5th. Okay, I hope you have a great installation, or initiation, I should say, and keep me informed as to how it goes. Keep all of us informed as to how it goes. And thank you for hanging out with me. 1 a.m. I think it's same 1 a.m. for you as well in Texas, right? I guess it depends on time zone. Oh no, you're an hour earlier, that's right. So hanging out with me at midnight, I truly appreciate it. And again, if you are just joining us, please jump in the chat, say hello, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry, positive, negative, or neutral. I'd love to hear them. And if you have anything in particular you guys want to chat about, now's the chance. Let me know. Any thoughts, questions about Freemasonry? I've been in Freemasonry for 20 years, all in Ontario, but I am a member of lodges outside of Ontario. Well, 12:11 a.m., right? Because you're suffering like me with the lack of sleep. Pat Cricket? This stream is about Freemasonry. I've been a Freemason for 20 years. Square and Compass Promotions in general, the whole channel is about Freemasonry. And answering questions about it, talking about it, chatting about it, as well as just me hanging out with people, which is something I love to do, and chat with people. So, Pet Cricket, let me know if you have any questions about Freemasonry. And in the interim, I hope you'll be so kind as hit the like button, subscribe button, and let me know if there's anything, questions you have about Freemasonry. I did see it. I got it. Eman Rakia says hello, or says hi. with a question mark. Hello, back to you. I can see you. No worries. Freemasonry is not exclusive to North America, Pat Cricket. Freemasonry exists in many countries around the world. In fact, in almost every country around the world. It is a fraternal or community civic organization which has a fraternal as well as a side for women, and which evolved or adapted from stonemason guilds from medieval Europe. It is the oldest civic organization, oldest civil organization in the world, dating to, depending when you want to place the date, I usually place the date at 1717. But think of it as a social club or a social group, if that makes sense. And the purpose of it, like any social group, is to create bonds of friendship and brotherhood through shared experiences. Yeah, social club. Some people get confused and view Freemasonry as a religion, which it's not. I mean, it's a club, no different than you have clubs for people who, you have football teams, sporting teams, dart clubs. You have Freemasonry and Masonic clubs, which again exist all around the world. We interact with each other through what we call recognition. So, for example, I don't know where you're from, Cricket, but if I were to travel to your country and try to visit a Masonic lodge there, the way that I would be able to visit them is if we were each recognizing each other in our Masonic lodges, or Masonic lodges were recognized, it's called. We are talking about Freemasonry. I've been a Freemason since 2007, so about 20 years. And that's what I love to chat about and talk about. That's the whole purpose of this stream, or of this channel, I should say, this YouTube channel, is to explore the ways in which Freemasonry was and is relevant to the communities in which it's located. And you can expand that outward to include the countries in which it's located, or the areas in which it's located. And as Courtney says, yes, please hit the like button. There are many negative perceptions of Freemasonry for I'm going to say for better or worse, but I guess just for worse and worse. But there are many negative perceptions, unfortunately. When I say many, I mean, I think honestly most people have no opinion about Freemasonry one way or the other. I think they are agnostic towards it, but there are many conspiracy theories and conspiracy theorists. You see them often on social media that have negative views of Freemasonry, and these negative views have existed for many years, unfortunately. Iman, we are talking about Freemasonry, something of which I've been a part of since 2007, so pretty much 20 years. And Imam, Pet Cricket, I hope you guys will be so kind as hit the like button and subscribe button. Let me know how it's going. If there is any questions you have, I can do my best to answer them. But yeah, there are negative perceptions of Freemasonry, many conspiratorial or conspiracy theories about Freemasonry, unfortunately. I do my best to combat them as much as I can. I certainly don't always succeed in successfully combating them, but I try my best to be on social media and, to whatever extent I can, combat some of those negative views and negative ideas. But yeah, I've been a Freemason. I sometimes forget to talk about my own Masonic history, but I've been a Freemason since 2007, joined in Windsor, Ontario, and remain a member in Windsor, Ontario. I'm also a member of lodges in Texas and in Israel, Lodge Holy Land, both of which I feel very grateful that I can be members of. Freemasonry truly is a global entity, and that's something I really love. I love the fact that men from all walks of life, from all faiths, all types of professions and backgrounds and politics are able to come to lodge together and work towards trying to fight for a better world, or to fight for a better world, I should say. So, Pick Cricket, I hope you'll hit the like button. I hope you hit the subscribe button. Let me know if you have any other questions, or just let me know how it's going. You said you're not from North America. Do you mind if I ask where you're from? Because I'm doing this stream at 1 a.m. I'm not sure if you are a night owl like me, or if it's maybe later on in your neck of the woods. Depending where you're from, I may have visited Masonic lodges there. I've been lucky enough to visit Masonic lodges in a few different countries, and loved it every time. I'm glad the weather cleared up for you as well. Pakistan. Okay, cool. So there's a lack of recognition of Masonic lodges in Pakistan right now. Having said that, Freemasons, exist all around the world in various, so for example, even if there is not a Masonic lodge in the country, there will be Masons that are traveling there for work, for vacation. They may have family there. They may live there, but have joined a Masonic lodge when they left the country for a time, for a vacation or for education, especially, or for work, whatever it might be. That happens often, including in Pakistan. I've never had the chance to visit Pakistan, but I would love to one day. I'm sure the people are very friendly, and I'm sure it's a very beautiful country. But thank you for joining me on this stream. I really appreciate it. Professional wrestling would be the sport, I would say. Beyond that, I don't really watch sports. I'm too busy with Freemasonry to have time for sports or anything else. What about yourself? I'm assuming soccer, or as you might call it, football, because I feel like in Pakistan that's probably a very popular sport, right? Soccer is the most popular sport around the world, um, to my understanding. So I'm guessing soccer, but let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know if you have any sports you're interested in. Football, cricket, baseball, and hockey. Is that in order? Like, of those four, which is your favorite? Welcome back, XX. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. By the way, I do want to remind people. Okay. I have no idea how to play cricket or what the rules are to cricket for the life of me. I'm told it's quite a very involved game, though. If anybody gets the chance, please don't forget patreon.com/squareandcompass. You can support me by becoming a member of the Patreon family. You can join for free. It doesn't cost you anything, and it would be of great help. XX, though, I hope that you are doing well. Thank you. This is the channel I stream on mostly for Encompass. The other channel, I do some shorts of my travels, and some shorts of things I find interesting, and weekend streams. Like this weekend, it's my hope to do a stream on my personal channel. But I appreciate you trying to keep track of both. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. Predecessor to baseball is the simplest. I like baseball when it comes to going to watch games. I'm not a big fan of watching baseball on TV, but in person, I actually enjoy it quite a bit. Especially because the tickets are usually so cheap and the food is really, really good. Do you have like a favorite? Because I don't know cricket teams or even, but do you have a favorite soccer team? Today's agenda really is just a quick hangout. I was talking earlier today about the play Angry Allen, which I think has some really interesting correlations, or there's a lesson there for Freemasons. Angry Allen is about a man who falls into the manosphere trap online and ends up getting down a very dark path. And my concern was, or my idea was, if we as Freemasons are not doing a good enough job reaching, just being relevant in the world, relevant in our communities, then when men go looking for something to care about, they may more than likely fall into the trap of the Andrew Tates and Jordan Petersons of the world. Yes, I saw that. I'm going to share that for sure. I have been doing my best to share the info of what is happening and the disaster relief efforts of Texas. And yeah, I hope to keep that going. Do I like Edgar Allan Poe? I used to. I love anything scary, so that was very, yeah, I do. I did used to enjoy Edgar Allan Poe, actually, put it that way. I haven't read his stuff for so long, but I did used to enjoy him. Anything scary, I like. And so my tendency would be to say yes, big fan. But it's been so long. He did Mask of the Red Death, right? I think. Was that him? I really like that. It was by Edgar Allan Poe. I really liked that short story. It's been a minute. I'm a huge horror fan. But Mask of the Red Death, I really enjoyed that short story. It's been years since I've read it. I'll have to read it again. Because you just reminded me of it, and suddenly I want to check it out again because I loved it so much. Um, Great moral in that story, too. This idea of trying to hide away from your problems or use your riches or fame to hide away from your problems is not going to be successful. New Superman movie. I did a stream a couple days ago about Freemasonry in comic books, which was really, really cool. Superman has had a couple Masonic references in the comics. So how cool is that? The phrase great architect of the universe, or the term great architect of the universe, found its way into a Superman comic. So I really thought that was really, really awesome. Yeah, it was from a 1999 episode or 1999 issue of a Superman comic. Now, my assumption is what happened is there was a Freemason on the writing staff who, was kind enough to throw a bone to Masons and add a Masonic reference in there. I thought that was really cool also. By the way, XX, as a horror fan, you must be super excited for the coming months. Talk about some incredible comics or incredible horror movies coming out. I mean, you've got I Know You Did Last Summer, Him, Weapons, and The Long Walk, all coming out in the next 3 months. I'm beyond excited for all of them, but especially The Long Walk. Oh, well, if you're tired and in pain, don't hang out with me. For heaven's sakes, go to sleep. That's the best way to recover is sleep. I mean, I appreciate you being here. I hope before you go, you'll hit the like button, maybe share this stream with some people. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate it. Or stay up with me and drink coffee. Hmm. Let me ask this poll question because this is something I'm considering. I am from Canada, Windsor, Ontario. Born and raised in Winnipeg, but now live in Windsor. I'm considering doing for fun a 24-hour live stream, maybe in a few weeks. It'd take a lot of practice or just preparation. I have to figure out how I would even do it. But I think it might be kind of fun if I were to start at like midnight and go through till midnight again and just see how many people I could get joining me for that time. And a lot of coffee. It would take a lot of coffee as well. But I think it could be kind of fun. And again, it'd be kind of neat to see who comes and who goes. I'd have to pick different topics that I would do every like couple hours to keep it fresh. So it wasn't the same topics or the same kind of discussions. Dennis, howdy. How's it going? Thank you for joining. I hope that you are doing well. I'm trying to do this. My goal is to become a professional Freemason, which doesn't really exist right now, but I'm working on it. Honestly, if you want to help me out in my goals, I'm also a professional wrestling referee. But if you want to help me out, the best way to do that, Patrick, I'm going to call you Patrick, even though it's Pat Cricket. I just have a hard time saying that. Is go to patreon.com/square and compass. and become a member of the Patreon. You can become a member for free if you don't have any money. That's perfectly fine, or money for that. Even becoming a free member will help other people find the stream. Oh, XX, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what? That's going to happen. Just stay on the couch. Sometimes I would find that you know, getting, re what's the word I'm looking for? Getting assigned to the couch or relegated to the couch was actually a bit of a vacation because you get the whole couch to yourself. Nobody's farting or snoring next to you. I don't have to worry about snoring or farting. You can watch TV, watch YouTube. You know, sometimes getting relegated to the couch was like a mini vacation, which was a lot of fun. So I'm glad you don't mind it. 3 votes, 3 yeses. I appreciate that. So maybe I will do a 24-hour live stream. Obviously, I don't think anybody would be joining me for the whole 24 hours. That would be a lot. But, you know, coming in and out would be a lot of fun. Oh, coffee and cookies. Yeah, like what I would have to do is prepare my like space, get my food ready, order a pizza. It would be an interesting experience, but a lot of fun. In the meantime, though, I do have scheduled August 16th, a live stream from Windsor Hip Hop Festival celebrating local artists. It would count for sure, but I mean, I won't be doing this all night. If you're talking about tonight, I will be going to sleep soon. But yeah, if I were to do a 24-hour live stream and you kept your phone on all night, it would 100% count, and I would truly appreciate it. It is that Freemasonry guy. Thank you so much, half hawk, half man, for coming back. Hit that like button for me. I would truly appreciate it. And I hope that you're doing well. Would you, half hawk, half man, join me for a 24-hour live stream if I were to do that, let's say in a week, from midnight to midnight, let's say? I'd be coming in and 5 votes, 5 yeses. I get it, XX. I mean, it sucks, right? You got to pay the bills, but work can be tiring. I guess what I'd say is, I know this is going to sound trite, for whatever it's worth, though. For me, even if it's a crummy day at work, I always try to find one good thing that happened in the day. It can be something as small as like, um, oh my gosh, it can be something as small as like somebody brought in donuts and I got a free donut, or it was a really beautiful day and I saw a really beautiful piece of, scenery. To, I found $5 on the ground, all the way up to like I managed to help somebody or I got my first aid training. I always try to find something good in the day, even if it's been a crummy day at work, and usually I can find something good. I learned a new word today, so eloquent that there you go. At least you can see your friends. Ontology is a set of concepts or categories in a subject area or domain. I did know that word. I don't know if I knew the exact definition. That sounds like a better definition of ontology than I had. But I have heard that word before. It's a beautiful word. You're not wrong, Halfhawk. Um, so, trying to, and that's something I did for Freemasonry as well. Even when I was really struggling with Freemasonry, having, bad meetings or just not enjoying it, I would try my best to find something good that happened Masonically that I could hang my hat on. And honestly, I was oftentimes able to find something. Sometimes a little bit more work, but I was usually able to find something. I am, I don't know if I'm bright and educated. Many people would say I'm definitely not bright, but I try my best to be. What's happening tomorrow, Cricket? And speaking of, found $100 bill, returned it on the ground, got a raise. There you go. You did the right thing and you got a raise. And that's a good thing for the day. Even if you didn't get a raise, what I'd say is doing the right thing counts as something good in a day. And that is sometimes even when I had a really, really bad day and it seemed like nothing was going right. If I could look in the mirror and say I still did the right thing or tried to do the right thing, that was usually a way that I was able to feel better about myself and feel better about the day. But I'm happy you got the raise and I'm happy you did the right thing. That's awesome. Keep up the good work. Nice. Where's the trip going? Oh my gosh, find something I mean, for me it's coffee. For me it's um type of food I enjoy. Could be chilling with a book or a movie. Good for you. Take advantage of it, XX. I support that. I think that's awesome. Okay, there's lots of Freemasonry in Germany. Lots of German Freemasons over the years, lots of famous German Freemasons over the years. Mozart perhaps being the most famous. Oh my gosh. Jordan Peterson's in the chat. Do you think that our conscience helps us hear the voice of God? Do I think our conscience helps us hear the voice of God and that it helps us recognize truth? Hardy Boys, great set of books. So as a Freemason, one thing you need to believe in is a supreme being, which I believe in, and you also need to believe that that supreme being prefers virtue, which I believe is also the case. I don't think our conscience helps us hear the voice of God. I've heard God defined as like the voice of conscience in the past. I don't think that's the case. I think more likely our conscience is rather our I think consciousness or our conscious as in like right from wrong. And when we do something good, we feel good. When we do something bad, we feel bad. The idea of that is being a conscience. I think that's an evolved response that we see in other animals that allows us to live and act in groups. So for example, if I'm living in a group environment, that could be anything from a school of fish to a pack of lions, and I act in a manner that's harmful to the group, that group is not going to survive, and because I'm part of that group, I will likely not survive. So we evolved this concept of a conscience as a way to regulate our actions within a group setting so we do not end up harming the overall good, the overall group. I think that what helps us recognize the truth about God, honestly, what I think helps us is not our conscience, but rather our faculties of reason and our ability to recognize cause and effect, right? So if I do something bad and there's some type of bad result from it, instead of listening to my conscience, which you should, because your conscience will feel bad, but what you should do is, in my opinion, use your reason to deduce, okay, I did an action, that action resulted in a negative consequence, therefore I should not do that action in the future. And that is, I think, the universe's way or the supreme being's way of guiding our actions. By creating a ordered world in which there are predictable consequences to actions, that is how we get closer to God. It's observation and reason as opposed to the conscience. Because I think the conscience is an evolved mechanism as opposed to something that comes from the supreme being, if that makes any sense. Oh my gosh, Courtney, there's a lot there. That might be a full discussion on another day because there's so much. I would say quickly the tools that stonemasons used, the system of apprenticeship through mastery, um, all of which became symbolic elements. So the square and compasses, the square is a stonemason tool, the compasses are a stonemason tool, and even the wording we use, like to be on the level, to square your actions, all of that influenced the rituals and symbolism, the tools, even the structure, right? Moving from an apprentice to a master mason. is taken from the stonemason guilds themselves. Well, no, I don't think conscience is a judgment of reason. A Master Mason is the third degree in Freemasonry. It is really the highest degree you can get in Freemasonry. When you join, you're an apprentice, and then it's a progressive science, so you become a Master Mason. I'm a Master Mason. So conscience versus, I think conscience isn't just, I think, how am I trying to say this? I'm trying to make sense of this. I think conscience is a evolved mechanism that exists within us, which we have no control over. It is the highest degree. I would argue it's not the highest level. I would say the highest level, in my opinion, is being the worshipful master of a lodge. Or you could argue being the grand master within a jurisdiction. But to reach either of those levels, you first need to be a Master Mason. So it's the highest degree in Freemasonry. Whether it's the highest level or not very much depends on your own personal opinion. Different Masons have different views of that. Some would say Master Mason is the highest level, and everything beyond that is just a version of that, so being a worshipful master or grand master. I don't view it that way, but the key thing is to reach the level of a Grand Master, which means you're responsible for Freemasonry within a jurisdiction or an area, or to become a Master of a Lodge, which means you're responsible for the running of a Masonic Lodge, you first need to be a Master Mason. And then after that, people can go into concordant bodies, Red Lodge, York Rite, Scottish Rite, and they'll get different degrees, but they won't be degrees that make you more of a Mason than a Master Mason, if that makes sense. Um, so, so I think conscience is an involuntary evolutionary consequence. So, for example, it's almost like empathy. Like if I see somebody eating a lemon, I may in my mouth start to kind of taste a sour lemon. Not because I'm eating it myself, because I see it, I see what they're eating, and there's an involuntary, empathetic reaction to that. My body knows what that tastes like, and I'm able to, an involuntary way, have that feeling, right? Or if I see somebody in pain, on an involuntary level, my conscious will step into it and will encourage me to help them and discourage me to, leave them. No, I may choose to ignore my conscience, but the actual conscience itself, it's something that cannot be, it's an involuntary evolutionary response that allows us to recognize when a member of our tribe is in trouble, which then encourages us to try to help them as much as we can. I think judgment and reason are things that we can control. We can choose to engage judgment and reason or choose not to engage judgment or reason. Whereas conscience is is something that we cannot control. It's just a natural part of being alive. Again, we can ignore it, but it's going to pop up no matter what we do, in my opinion, unless you're a very particular type of person or a psychopath. When you say by how do we determine whether an action is right or wrong? I think again by judgment and reason and by asking the question, what will the consequences of an action be? To the best of our ability and judgment and reason to understand what the consequences of the action will be. Right? Because we can, I believe, determine if we take this action, will the consequences be positive or negative towards the group? So, for example, I find a purse on the ground. Should I steal the money from the purse? My conscience may step in right away and tell me no in an involuntary way, but I can choose to ignore that. And then I'm left with my judgment or reason. And I think there's a fairly obvious response. If I choose to steal the money from the purse, I have now made stealing a little bit more acceptable within society, And I have, even on a slight level, increased the risk that someone may choose to steal from me if I lose something. And so it's better to not do so. Right? I think it's possible for us to look at the better versus worse results for humanity and then judge accordingly. Yes, go rest. For sure. Rest XX. Thank you, Half Hawk, Half Man. I hope I answered your question. Like, I do think, again, I don't believe you need to believe in a God to have a consciousness, to have, or sorry, to believe in right or wrong and to find ways to judge what is right and what is wrong. I think believing in a supreme being can be a separate thing. Like, I don't think necessarily my belief in a supreme being connects to my belief that there is right or wrong, and it's possible to understand what those are, even if even if you don't believe in a supreme being. I've never understood the argument of, you require a God to have some type of morality, right? It just seems to me that most people are able to reason based on what is best for society, without needing to evoke a higher power. There's an interesting kind of idea there of it's almost like a relativity argument in a way, where you look at relativity of Galilean relativity versus special relativity and general relativity, right? The idea of do you need a privileged position to judge something as being right or wrong, or are you able, while you're within the conundrum, to properly judge right and wrong? Right, which is kind of like a scientific question of relativity, if that makes any sense at all. But thank you everybody for joining. 5 votes, 5 yeses. So it looks like you guys would join me for a 24-hour live stream. I just had to figure out the best way to do it so that it's enjoyable and fun and people have fun checking it out. And Half Hawk, Half Man, please, if you get the chance, I hope that you'll consider checking out our Patreon. Everybody watching this, I hope you'll check out the Patreon, patreon.com/square and compass. And I'm going to give this stream maybe another 5-10 minutes. That is true. They do that. That is how they judge. There's a lot of ways they judge. But I would say personal values, cultural norms, and learned behaviors are 3 of the biggest ones, without question. Not the only 3, not the exclusive 3, but definitely a bigger 3. Welcome, Ryan, staying up late like me. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're doing well. I hope you'll hit that like button. And yeah, it's great to have some people joining me late. 6 votes, all 6 yeses. So it looks like I will be doing a 24-hour live stream at some point. I'll just need to definitely stock up on caffeine, stock up on sleep the night before, do all that fun jazz, but maybe we'll get a good turnout. Could be a really enjoyable experience. What I need to do is have different topics like every hour. By the way, Half Hawk, Half Man, if you could describe Freemasonry in 1 word, what would it be? You don't have to tell me why, but just 1 word to describe Freemasonry, what would it be? That goes for everybody watching the stream thus far. Please let me know. I've almost got my 50 words. Apparently, by the way, everybody's saying the new Superman movie is great on my stream. So if you get the chance, maybe watch it. I'm holding out for the horror movies that are coming out. That's what I'm holding out for. I'm also thinking of doing a stream on Twitch. I've been doing those for, a little bit, trying to grow those. So we'll see if that works. Maybe even do a long stream on, um, what's what I'm looking for now? On, like, do a Twitter space. Who knows? Trying a few different things might be kind of fun. But I think a 24-hour stream on Facebook could be a 24-hour stream on YouTube could be a lot of fun, really enjoyable. I'm thinking I might get some, again, will we get some new people joining? I'm not going to be, maybe the week after next. Once I know for sure, I will let you know. Just waiting to see if anybody jumps in the chat with anything else before we end the stream for today. Like I said, or for this morning, you are welcome. And tomorrow it's going to go back to the Friday Ask Us Anything stream. So I look forward to seeing everybody. I guess I said tomorrow, I guess really today, actually. Today at 1 p.m., so about 12 hours from now, or 11 hours from now. In fact, so I think that is going to be it for this stream. Thank you everybody for joining. It was fun. Today, 12 hours from now, 1 p.m. I'll see you guys once again. All right, have a great day and bye for now. Or great night. Get some sleep. See you guys tomorrow. /today, 1 p.m. Eastern.